Hey everyone, and welcome back to my channel. Today I want to start the reading vlog, the first one for July, and I think this is gonna be a fun month. I want to participate in a readathon. It's called the GamenightAthon, which is hosted by Cleo. Her channel is Bemused Bookworm. I'm very excited to get into this readathon, but this one is focusing on short books, so I'm starting at the worst possible point right now because I am literally in the middle of two books that I still want to finish from June. So the first one is gonna be my audiobook, My Dearest, Darkest, and this is kind of a YA dark academia with horror touches, I would say. Also, it doesn't really touch on the academia too much, so I don't know. It's just like a queer YA book that has some darker elements, a little bit of a mystery, some horror elements, but I wouldn't say it's a full-on horror, like it's not very scary yet. Maybe that will come in the second half now, I don't know. But I'm currently a little bit more than 50% through, and I want to count the rest of this book for the readathon. But the way the readathon works, it's a little bit complicated, but I will show you once I start finishing books for it. But yeah, this book is too long for what I need to achieve, so I'm basically wasting pages with it, but that's fine. I still want to finish that audiobook. And then I'm also in the middle of Speaking Bones by Ken Liu. And this is not a short book. I have 600 pages of this left. So yeah, I will definitely waste a lot of pages for the readathon finishing this, but this will be my second book for the readathon, hopefully, so I still have a goal of finishing it, hopefully quite quickly now. I don't know if that will be possible, but that's the plan. Those are the two books I will focus on. So we will have kickoff sprints today to start the readathon in about 2 hours, so up until then I will do some cleaning around the house, and then hopefully I will be on track with my reading. I will listen to the audiobook while cleaning, and then I will read Speaking Bones during the sprints. And we'll see, maybe this will be a big fail with the readathon, but I still want to try because I love Cleo's channel and I love the idea of this readathon. So yeah, as I said, you will get more on all of this once something happens, once I reach like the end of one of these books. And then I will give you my final thoughts, tell you a little bit about the books, and also how the readathon works. So let's go. So today is the 6th of July and I have updates because yesterday I finished two books. First of all, I finished Speaking Bones by Ken Liu. This is the conclusion to the Dandelion Dynasty series and I'm finally done. I really enjoyed this series, but still it is so long. So after finishing this book, I had this like freeing moment of all the choices. Like, I can read all the books now that I've done this, you know. This book in the end wasn't quite the conclusion that I wanted. I was a little bit disappointed with the ending, so I gave this book 4 stars. I think in the end the author could have done so much more, but he chose a very easy route and one that for me is not very believable. So 4 stars for this. Still a fantastic series if you want to suffer with your characters. Would highly recommend. And then the other book I finished was my audiobook, My Dearest, Darkest by Kayla Cottingham. Now this one was fine. It was one that I could listen to for free on Audible, so I just tried it out. I had it on my wish list for a very long time, but I don't think I would have gotten to it if it hadn't been free on there, just because I'm a little bit wary with the dark academia horror kind of books. But in this one, we're following a main character who has kind of a tragic past. Something really bad happens to her, and then she gets into this elite school, and we follow her there for a couple of months, where she meets a group of girls who are very, very popular. And those girls have found a creature in the kind of, I don't know what it is. Like, there is like secret tunnels under the school, and there they find this creature who grants them wishes. And I said for the first half of this book that it wasn't really scary, that I wanted it to be a little bit more horror. It focused much more on just queer messiness, figuring out your sexuality and what that does. And there was also a little bit of dealing with grief, but I think not as much as you would think there would be. And then there's this mystery of this band who went missing about 20 years prior. So there's a lot going on, and for that I think that the book reached a satisfying conclusion. I think the kind of like conflict, like action scene that we get at the end was actually quite well done and well thought out. I felt like it borrowed a little bit from It by Stephen King in the kind of resolution of what this creature is. Like, I don't want to say too much because I don't want to spoil it, but it just felt like a little bit, you could say a homage, but I felt like it was a little bit too similar. But yeah, I liked it. I gave it 3.5 stars. I think if you are into these kind of not so scary YA horrors, then you might enjoy this quite a bit. So yeah, that's 2 books done for the readathon. So I will show you what my board looks like right now.
So this is what my board looks like right now. So I'm still in the minus points, but I promise we will get out of there.
And then we can move on to other reads. And so I have chosen the next 3 books because I'm going to read them at the same time, basically. So my first book is my next audiobook, and that is 12 Nights at Rodder House. That's what it's called. I'm sorry, because it's actually called Rotterdam Mansion or something like that, but they call it the Rodder House. And I just started listening to it, and this is a haunted house story that I think is a little bit cheeky, a little bit funny, but also scary. So that's what I'm here for. That's the kind of horror stories that I love. So I hope this one will be really good, really fun, scratching the horror itch that I'm having right now. So I'm choosing that one for a mood read. And then the next book I will do for the read outside prompt, and that is Heartstopper Volume 2. And I'm very excited to keep reading these. My best friend got me the first 3 volumes, and I have seen the show. I really enjoyed the show. I'm so excited for the next season. But yeah, I'm also going to read the first 3 volumes at least because I own them. So this I will read outside, and the weather is supposed to be really nice this weekend as well. So I should be able to just sit on the balcony and read this. I hope it won't be getting too hot for that. So we'll see. But that's that. And then since I also wanted a book that I can just read normally, I went to the next prompt as well, and that one was a randomized prompt, and I will show you the randomization now.
Okay, it's time to randomize, and I looked for 3 books that have pretty much 300 pages. They couldn't be more different. This is 1, this is 2, this is 3. So now let's randomize. Number 1. Okay, so the feminist nonfiction it is.
And so that book is Die letzten Tage des Patriarchats, which is a feminist kind of essay collection that I will be reading. So yeah, that's my plans for the next part of the month. And I hope that I will be able to get through these books before this vlog is over. So I have even more time to read more books for this game later in the month. We'll see. I'm very excited, and I'll talk to you when something interesting happens. So today is the 12th of July and I thought I'd give you a quick update because last night I finished a book. I finished 12 Nights at Rodder House, and this was an interesting one because I did really like it up until the point where we learn what the issue is between our main character and his best friend. Basically, they are spending 12 nights or 13 nights. They are planning on spending 13 nights at Rodder House together to see whether it is really haunted, whether ghosts are real. But we have this mystery, what has happened between the two, because they had a falling out basically. And when we learn what that is, it just gets quite ridiculous. I think this is a very interesting book about masculine fragility. But yeah, I found it to be a little bit odd in the end. So I decided to give it 3.5 stars. I think for people who are looking for very spooky haunted house books, this isn't quite spooky enough. And for people who are looking for more like lighthearted, fun haunted house books, the whole reason is a little bit interesting, I would say. So there's probably an audience for this book, but I feel like I wasn't quite the right one. So yeah, but I got to listen to this for free, so that was all right, and it's done now. So with that, I have now finished 5 books for the Readathon, and I will show you what my board looks like right now. So here is what my board looks like right now after logging the next 3 books. And then I'm also halfway through Soul of an Octopus, which you can't really see right now because I took the dust jacket off. But yeah, I'm pretty much halfway through, so I hope that I will be finishing this before the weekend, so I could possibly get into another book during the weekend. That would be really cool. So far, really liking it. Very interesting little snippets about octopuses, and then we also have quite a nice narrative style. Even though this is non-fiction, I think it's very easy to read, very easy to flow through. But I would say if you want all the interesting hard facts about octopuses, this is probably not the book for you. But I'm really enjoying it. So now I started a new audiobook, and that is Bryony and Roses by T. Kingfisher. I also have access to this one for free, but only for the rest of the week. So luckily this isn't very long, so I'm pretty confident that I can still finish it in time. This is a Beauty and the Beast retelling, which usually I stay very far away from. But since it is T. Kingfisher, I thought I'd give it a try. This is probably not the book that I'm most interested in by her, but as I said, since I can listen to it for free and it is very short, it fits the readathon and it makes sense to listen to it now. So I just started it, just listened to about the first half hour, and so far it is already very much a T. Kingfisher book, so I'm looking forward to it and I'll keep you updated. So today is the 15th of July and it is gonna be the hottest day yet, so we'll see how I will survive this. But I finished the book last night and I wanted to give you a quick update. So I have finished Soul of an Octopus by Montgomery, and I decided to give this book 4 stars. I quite enjoyed it. I think it is such an interesting look at animals and octopuses in particular, and the question whether they have a soul, are they like us or are they just very, very different? And through this journey of the author, we see her get in touch with a lot of different octopuses, wild ones and ones that are held in captivity. And she's just exploring her relationship with these animals, and I really enjoyed this. I think it was also interesting to see a woman that is already slightly older, I think she's in her 50s, exploring new things like learning how to dive and yeah, it was just very, very interesting to follow along, very easy to read. Probably some things will also stick in my head, but not a book that, you know, I will never forget. So, yeah, I think it does what it wants to do, and it does that well. So, if you're interested in it, I would recommend. And I'm glad we just see more octopuses in literature now. So with that book being finished, I will show you what my board for the readathon looks like right now.
So this is what my board looks like right now after logging the next book. And now I'm working on this cluster, which should be done by tomorrow. And then this one up here, which hopefully will be done very soon as well. Okay, so with my latest book, I finally also finished the quest for the April Magical Readathon round, and I have a choice of kind of a reward now, and I think I'm going to choose the key to the study of the Professor for Alchemy, just because for my Archmage calling, I always have to do a lot of alchemy stuff. So I think having this key and access to all the scrolls and the books and the ingredients would be most helpful to my character. So I'm choosing the key.
And so I'm still working on my audiobook, Bryony and Roses by Kingfisher, and I'm loving it. It is so great. I was a bit hesitant because I don't usually enjoy Beauty and the Beast retellings, but this one works perfectly for me. The snarkiness and the banter of the characters, it's just everything. And I think I'm almost like at 50% or something like that. Maybe I'm even, yeah, like almost at the 50% mark. And so I hope I will finish it tomorrow, because I will only have it for today and tomorrow, and then I will have to return it. And then we have the next book that I chose, and that is gonna be The Children of Hurin? Is that what it's called? I never know. This is the German copy. This is one of those stories that was already included in the Silmarillion, but now has been published as a single volume as well. So this is not a book that Tolkien wrote all by himself, but his son Christopher kind of edited it and made it into a real book. Like, the story existed, but it was not in any way, shape or form done. So I'm intrigued to read this. I've always been very hesitant with these books because they're not written by Tolkien himself. Like, we don't know what he really wanted it to look like in the end. But I hope that this will be interesting, and it has illustrations by Alan Lee, which are fantastic. So yeah, I hope this will be enjoyable, and maybe if I'm really good, we'll see, I can even finish it this weekend. That would be really cool, and then I would end this vlog, and then we could start into the next part, the other 2 weeks that we will still have on Monday. That's the plan, so I'll keep you updated how it goes. So today is the 17th of July, and I want to give you a quick update and finish off this vlog. So if you want to hear more about my reading, you will have to come back at the end of July when I do the second part of this monthly vlog. So I did finish a book last night. I did finish Bryony and Roses by Kingfisher. This is kind of like a a Beauty and the Beast retelling, but it is a little bit different because it's almost like an alternate version of it where beauty does not fall for the beast, and then we have Bryony who comes to his house centuries later. So yeah, I really enjoyed this book. I love T. Kingfisher's writing. I just live for it. And I'm not a big romance reader, but this one worked really well for me because we have like the snarky banter and everything. So it was just lovely. And I really liked the way that it all concluded. We definitely had a little bit of an action-packed ending, but then some things, how they were resolved, I very much enjoyed. And yeah, overall, this was just a lot of fun. And the only complaint that I have is that I wanted it to be a little bit longer so we can explore some of the themes a little bit more. So in the end, I decided to give it 4 stars, and I would definitely recommend if you enjoy like funny fairy tale retellings. It was really good. And then I did not finish my other read, The Children of Hurin, because I have 40 pages left of this, so I'm pretty sure I will finish it tonight. But this is just my least favorite Tolkien story of all time. Hurin is just frustrating. I really don't like him as a character, and yeah, I was complaining about it on the Discord last night when we did some reading sprints. It's just like, yeah, you can say like, oh, he's cursed, it's not his fault, but like, he's just the master of making bad decisions, and he's always like, I know I'm making bad decisions, but I really want to do that now, and I hate him. So yeah, unfortunately that is not going so well. This whole tale is just not my favorite. There is also some incesty bits where I'm at right now, so yeah, we don't love it. So instead of forcing myself through the last 40 pages, I did start my next read for the readathon, and that is the Handsworth Times by Sharon Duggal. I never know how to say the name. And so I started this. I'm not that far into it, like 5 chapters, I believe. I had no idea what this was about. I got it in a moth box many, many years ago. But yeah, it's very short and it fits one of the prompts. I think it's actually a mood read, so it's not like it fits the prompts. But yeah, I wanted to give this a try. And I was really surprised to learn that this is actually not, as I had thought, just about a British working class family, but this is about a British working class family with Indian roots, because the author herself, her family came from India. So we do have more like racism, I guess, in here and stuff like that. So I was quite surprised by that because I had no idea. And yeah, I'm intrigued to read this now. This starts with quite a horrific event. There is some kind of a riot, and this is set in the 80s. And then one of the children of this family that we're following is killed by an ambulance right after those riots. And yeah, I have no idea where this will go, but I'm intrigued definitely. And I will talk more about this in my upcoming vlog. So that's it. That is all the updates. I hope you had fun watching this. I will show you what my board looks like at the end now. So this is what my board looks like pretty much halfway through the month. And I'm actually very happy with that. And so with this, I thank you so much for watching. Leave a like and a nice comment. I always appreciate those. And I will talk to you very soon. Bye!